Andre Omega has the potential to be the best player in the world, and certainly the best to come out of Chile. But there's a problem. He is currently playing for his local club, Santiago Morning, in the 2nd division of Chile, and his reputation is so low, nobody knows who he is yet. But when they do find out who he is, I don't want him making any bad choices. So I'm going to control the destiny of Andre Omega's career path to become the best player in the world. However, there are some rules. I can only move him to a new club if they are showing active interest in him. I can also only move into a club if they have enough money in their transfer budget to pay for his value. And we are setting out a few challenges for us to target. The first is for Andre Omega to become a Champions League winner. The other is for him to be named in the FIFA Pro Team of the Year. And the third and final one is to win a Ballon d'Or, which might be the most difficult one because, in case you haven't noticed, Andre Omega is a left back. And in the history of the Ballon d'Or, it's rare a player in the defensive line picks up the award at all. Well, Andre is ready. You've got your 200 potential ability. Let's see what you can do, kid, and come back in a couple of years' time. Now, I've simulated to the end of the 2nd season, kind of because I knew there wouldn't be much interest from the off, just from experience of doing this with other players. Now, I've chose Santiago Morning because they're one of the worst teams. He's developed to 129 current ability, and he's actually been playing a lot of games. 27 appearances this season, all-time appearances is 47. He's even picked himself up a goal. And yes, he looks a lot better now already at age 18. Now, in Chile, he can now leave Chile because I believe in South America, a lot of the countries, you have to be 18 to be able to leave. You can get a transfer deal done beforehand. You'll just be waiting until you turn 18, kind of like the Brazilian nations. Like Endrick, for example, won't go to Real Madrid just yet. So now he has the ability to leave, but as we've seen, no interest just yet. And that's probably because he's still building a reputation. We can see his worldwide reputation is only 1,244 out of 10,000. The reason why I put it so low to begin with is because then we wouldn't have all of the big clubs coming straight away trying to snatch him up, and I'd have to make some weird and wonderful decisions. The best part about this is I control his destiny, meaning I stop him from going to the likes of PSG, where he'll sit in their 2nd team, not really get much game time, and this number for his current ability will never increase. I decide where he goes to, I get to make the ultimate decision, and hopefully the best decision for Andre Omega. He is probably yet to be found by any of the big clubs because, as I say, Santiago Morning are not very good. And if you take a look at where they've been placed, even with Andre Omega, it's 13th place in the 2nd division both seasons so far. But as we got to the end of the European season, which would be halfway through Andre Omega's Chilean season, that wanted sign began to come up already, and it's AC Milan who are showing active interest. However, they're still unwilling to make an offer until the transfer window's closed. So I'm going to hold fire just for now and see if any other clubs decide to declare their interest as well, and then I actually get a choice in the matter instead of having to decide, right, well, you're just going to AC Milan then. And lo and behold, within a couple of weeks' time, we have another club added to the list, and it's Benfica, who again have significant potential, could break into the first team fold sooner than expected, which is the same as what Milan is suggesting. So we are at our first big decision with Andre's career now. We've got 2 choices to make. We could even decide to just ignore it. However, what tends to happen is one of the teams make a bid anyway, and then you'll just lose all control. We want to have the control of his destiny right now. So the Milan side, they don't have a transfer. That's the worst thing. I mean, I thought I would be able to see their transfer budget. I can't. But let's look at their side anyway. They've got Malacia in from Manchester United, and they've probably still got Theo Hernandez. They have. So he isn't going to get much game time here at AC Milan, and I very much doubt who are winning the league. They are champions, so he would potentially be at the best club in Italy. But that's not obviously going to be the best move for him right now. This very early stage in his career, he's just turned 19 on April the 1st. It was April Fool's Day, but he still turned 19. And now we need to decide, right, what's best for his career? Who's going to give him the best game time? Who's going to have the best training facilities? And out of the 2 sides, there is one club that definitely has a reputation for signing South American talents and getting them to their biggest potential before, unfortunately, selling them on to another club, and that's Benfica. They have 4.5-star training facilities, 5-star youth recruitment, and 4.5-star training facilities, youth training facilities, and that's obviously we've seen in the past where they sign South American talents. A lot of Portuguese clubs do that as well. £65 million of the budget. We know that they can afford him. Tactically, they are playing a 4-4-2, and they have Reynaldo as their current starting left back, who's 32. So they don't have Alex Grimaldo anymore. I don't think they have another left back here. From what I can see, they have Gaspar, who can play left back, but again, that's not a natural position for him. I'm thinking they are really struggling for a left back. They got a couple of players who can fill in there. I think we found the club. I think it's an obvious choice for him to go to Benfica. This is a really obvious choice for Andre Omega to move to Benfica, and I'm going to make that decision straight away. He's already at 133. Let's move him to a club. Let's get him straight away to Benfica. And I'll tell you what, he's only valued at, what, 400k? Let's give him £1 million. Let's give this lovely club in Chile £1 million straight away. Now, it wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world for him to go to AC Milan. And how do I know that? Well, because I've already run one simulation where I didn't control his destiny at all, and I just simulated to the end of his career to see what happened. And AC Milan was the club he moved to first. Now, in the simulation where I didn't control his transfers at all, he is actually retiring age 39 at Chelsea, but we can see he moved the same season, in fact, during the third season to Milan for 325k. He actually went on loan in his first season, so they actually made a good, smart decision with his career and sent him on loan to the Serie C, where he played every single game by the looks of it, got 4 goals and 6 assists. That must have been great for his career. The season after, he didn't play much at all, just 4 games in total. But then in the 28-29 season, he broke into that first team, 22 games, and he never looked back after that. He had one bad year, which is when he moved to Chelsea by the looks of it, after a free transfer where he only played 23 games. From then on, it was still really good all the way up until he retired, age 39, still playing 28 starts in the Premier League, which is absolutely mental, and fair play to him. Now, the milestones on this, we can see, did he win anything? Because if he has managed to do some of the achievements that we have seen, we've got a task on our hand to actually beat the simulation as well. Now, I'm not seeing a Champions League winner at all, or a Ballon d'Or winner. So there's a potential here for us to really outdo what he has done in this simulation. Yes, he's won the Premier League a couple of times, and he's won the FA Cup, but not once has he managed to do either of our 3 challenges. So that's our task. And looking on those numbers, maybe we got this decision wrong, because Andre Omega, 2 seasons later, has only played 10 games this year alone. And at age 20, yes, he's progressed a little bit, but after 2 full seasons, he has only played 5 games and 5 starts for Benfica, with the first not even playing a single game. And although Benfica have won the Portuguese league, they have really stuck by Ronaldo so far in the last 2 seasons. I mean, Andre Omega has made the bench now, but you can see he's not even match sharp. It looks like they have had a couple of players around the team, maybe this guy who has filled in beforehand, while Ronaldo has missed very little of the game so far. But I still stand by that Benfica was probably the move to make at the time. Going to AC Milan was a little bit risky, and although Benfica are not playing him right now, they're not exactly like the Champions League winning side, and he has the option to leave because, let's face it, they are a bit of a selling club when they have their top talents. Once he breaks into that first team, I don't think we'll be waiting too much longer before some of the big guns come out. And it seems like my prediction came true. We are 1 year later, so it's his 3rd season at Benfica now. He's played 20 games, 19 starts. So out of the left back position, he's actually played exactly half of the amount of games throughout the season. He's even got a goal and 2 assists but with a very decent average rating too. Now, he looks great. He has definitely developed in his time. He's even gained a few player traits, which I definitely like. Use the outside of the foot's a bit of a strange one, but knocks ball past opponent is amazing because he's rapid with good agility and balance and gets forward whenever possible. We want him to be an attacking fullback so that he can obviously put himself in contention of being the best wing-back or fullback in the world and maybe lift the Ballon d'Or, who knows. We can see from his attribute details, he's now just one short of 160, which I always class as like an elite number in terms of the current ability. And then I think if you go above 180, that's when I think, okay, now you're world class. But again, we've still got a way to go before he gets that 200. But what's interesting is his world reputation. It is 10 times since he was in Chile, now up to 5,000, which is exactly half of a maximum of 10,000. So if you imagine Lionel Messi being 10,000, he is the world reputation, half as much of the people know who this guy is. That's not bad, really, is it? So far. But what is very interesting is at age 21, and he's also played for Chile, he's played 7 caps. Milestones, he's won a lot in Portugal. Pretty much everything you can win in Portugal, he has won it in Portugal already. He's even part of the seasonal best 11 this year. So he's been playing very well. He's won the title. He is currently injured as well, but that's probably not on his mind right now because he's wanted by Real Madrid. And okay, they're not going to put an offer in throughout the transfer window. They can obviously afford him. £191 million. He is up to 58 million. Do we make the move already? And that's the interesting thing. Because they only have Mendy at left back, and I can't see another left back. So, and they got Mazraoui who plays left and right, but naturally he's only a right, and I think the AI tend to use whoever is more natural rather than unnatural. And they also have Fiat again who can play left but not naturally. It's just whether he is better than Ferland Mendy, who is actually 32 as well and 147 current ability. So he improves the team at Real Madrid. I think it's a pretty easy decision straight away. Now, what I thought I would do is go forward another month because he still had the injury, so I don't think Real Madrid would have made a move anyway, but I went week by week and no bids came in, and I was curious to see whether any other clubs came in. Maybe there was another contender for us to think about. But it's stuck with Real Madrid, and I think it might be time because now their reason has also changed to would strengthen the team's starting 11, whereas beforehand it wasn't that. And I think it's a good decision to make. To go. Now, Thomas Tuchel is the manager. He's really good on Football Manager. It's really strange. But they have £213 million. I was also waiting to see whether they actually signed another left back. And I was tracking their transfers. Nothing has come in that they want to sign another left back. It seems like this is their only guy. So I think we make the move. Andre Omega, despite only playing 25 games for Benfica, is already moving club, and he's going to go to Real Madrid, and I think we just go for his maximum value. They've got enough money in the bank. Let's go for £78 million and move him to Real Madrid. I think that's the best way to go. £78 million. Now, I am a little bit surprised at how bad that time at Benfica was. I really did think he'd come in there and within one season he would be the #1 left back there, and he would probably develop to, close to 180 and be that world-class talent before he made the next step to a Real Madrid or a Man City. I mean, we got there eventually. It just, I expected his time at Benfica to be slightly better. Speaking of being better, I'm trying to make the world of professional wrestling a better place, and that's what TCW is all about. We are currently raising money for both Jeremiah's Journey and future charities such as a Plymouth Hospitals charity for wrestling shows, and I'd love for you to come. You can see the Electric Boogaloo poster in behind me. That's April the 28th. There's still time for you to get tickets for that, but there is also a July 6th show as well, and if you'd like to donate, there's going to be a link at the top of the description. I'd really appreciate it, but you can also watch the matches that we have live on the Tamar Community Wrestling YouTube channel. My one from the very first show has come up there already. Make sure you subscribe because there will be more. Turns out though, Andre Omega had a wonderful time in his first season in Real Madrid, even scoring against his old club Benfica in a 3-0 win in the quarter-final first leg of the Champions League. But now at 173 current ability, he's played 45 games in total this season, including 31 league games after a £78 million move, scoring 1 league goal and getting 3 league assists. In total, 2 goals with 4 assists. He's had a cracking time winning La Liga Santander. No Champions League win yet for him though. That's still to tick off. Another season under his belt though, and he's now up to 183, playing first team football, 32 games, 3 goals, 2 assists and 3 player of the matches this year. However, they didn't win the league title, just a Copa del Rey win. He did get his first international goal against Ecuador at the age of 22. But his 3rd season at Real Madrid was probably his best, with 2 goals and 5 assists in 28 games, which doesn't seem fantastic, although he has progressed into a wonderful footballer now at 192 current ability, but it's because he ticked off one of the challenges. Because Real Madrid won the Champions League in Benfica's stadium, which just made it even better, I guess. But Andre Omega was on the pitch. He played the full 90. They only won 1-0. He played in it. He got a 7.3 average rating. It was still good enough. He is a Champions League winner, a La Liga Santander winner, and a Copa del Rey winner. We didn't have a treble as a challenge, but he's done it anyway. And that is absolutely magical. Now, he might be inducted into the FIFA Pro 11 off the back of that, but that will probably be next season when that's announced. Same as the Ballon d'Or. And yes, thanks to Real Madrid's dominance in Europe, I think, Andre Omega is part of the FIFA Pro Team of the Year across that backline in the starting position at left back with a lot of his other Real Madrid teammates by the looks. So that's 2 challenges down out of 3. However, as I say, that last one, the Ballon d'Or, I think is really difficult for a fullback to win. He's at the best club though, so I guess we just keep coming back every few years and see whether he can do what I think might be the impossible. Right, so I've got another 5 years. He is 200 out of 200, and he's actually 30. I didn't realise we'd already get to 30, but he has played a lot of games, and that's fantastic. He's still at Real Madrid, of course. I haven't moved him. Every season I've been coming back, there's been nobody that's been wanting him. This is the first season I've come back and he has a transfer value. Every other time it says not for sale, which is a reason why I did come back now. I mean, we're only at the 28th of May. There is no wanted signs yet, but at least there's a value, because when there's a value, that means there's a possibility of movement. There hasn't been ever since pretty much when I left. And I guess that's the downside of putting him at one of the best clubs, if not the best club in the world. There's only one way to go down, and you know he's not going to want to move. Neither are they want to sell him. 450 grand a week. Nobody's going to be able to afford that unless you go for another elite club. But yes, he is phenomenal, and we're all looking at milestones, and he has won the league back to back quite a few times. Even won the FIFA World Club Cup. It looks like another Champions League winner possibly. So he's done quite a lot, really. That's great. Or maybe is that the same... Oh, no, he has won back-to-back Champions League. So that's fantastic. I'm curious as to who's beaten them in the Champions League in the last couple of years. Because it seems... Arsenal. It seems like their team has just been amazing. Obviously, that's the year before, I think. And then they won back-to-back there. Possibly. I don't know. I think it is. Yeah, it is. So they've done that back-to-back. No, it is that yet. So he's won 3 out of 4. I'm really sorry. I've just seen that he played Chelsea in the final in Portugal. And he's managed it. So they beat Bayern Munich and Barcelona in the final. So actually, it's not bad, really, is it? 50% of the time since he's been there, really. So, really good. But, yeah, no movement. And I don't seem to see, unfortunately, a Ballon d'Or winner. So, we can have a look and just see who has been winning it. Jesus, Kylian Mbappe won it, what, 8 times in a row? That's ridiculous. After Mohamed Salah obviously won the first season. Bukayo Saka, Vinicius Jr. Bukayo Saka's won 2, which is great. Francisco Rodriguez is our first new gen, and that's at Barcelona. He looks insane. So that's obviously the reason why they're not winning the league every single season. Barcelona have a great team because they also have Lamine Yamal, who actually, no, he's at Liverpool. It's one of the first times I've ever seen him Oh my, that's the biggest transfer I've ever seen. I've never seen a bigger transfer than that. 349 million. I don't think I've ever seen 300. That's insane. I can't believe that. I mean, has it been worth it, Liverpool? I mean, what, one Champions League was it? Oh my good lord. So, one Real Madrid player going back on track, but it doesn't look like he's even been in contention, unfortunately. For now, anyway. I can't get over that. I've won another 3 years, and I keep coming back every summer, because I don't think he's going to do a January transfer. But the season after I last met you was not for sale again. This, again, is the first time that we've got a transfer value, and I'm wondering whether it's because of the contract situation. He's got 1 year left on his deal. So that could be the reason why it doesn't no longer say not for sale. They're kind of worried whether he will make a move. But he is captain. I don't know whether that was there last time, but he is captain, which is great. I mean, he's got 16 for leadership. He's a stalwart in this Real Madrid team. Still 200 out of 200. Milestones do look rather impressive. They've won another Champions League, although there has been some seasons where they haven't actually won the league. So, again, very impressive. And La Liga right now has just been won by Barcelona, but it's the same points as Real Madrid. But they also went unbeaten, which, if they went unbeaten and didn't win the league, it does look quite funny. But they have been putting up a good fight against Real Madrid, which is good to see. But I just wish that it wasn't just all Barcelona and Real Madrid all the way through. It's nice when a third club comes into it. But there we go. So anyway, back on track to Andre Omega. The milestones do look very impressive, but there is no Ballon d'Ors, are there? So again, we're at a point where could this be his chance gone? And I don't even think he's been nominated either. So after the what was ridiculous transfer of Lamine Yamal and now getting the Ballon d'Or there, it went to Maximiliano Medina, who was at Arsenal, who won the Champions League, Francisco Rodriguez again, and then it's Manuel Claude Roos of Bayern Munich. So I'm wondering whether they won the Champions League there. And yeah, I do think it's going to be really difficult. No, Man City actually won it. Oh, I guess it'd be a year behind, wouldn't it? So, and I do think we won it the season before. We did. We beat Man City in that final in Istanbul, but some boring-ass finals going on right now. But there we go. I think we might struggle. But it is interesting that he has 1 year left on his deal. I'd be open to moving him. If there was a club that comes in that he's wanted by somebody, I'd want to move him just for a bit of variety, if anything. So yeah, another year and we have some wanted signs, and that is because he is not renewed his contract yet. And I don't know whether it's because Real Madrid don't want to sign him or they're offering him contracts and he's rejecting it. Obviously, we can't see that. It hasn't come up with the free transfer symbol over here, which suggests that it's his decision. But he does have a wanted sign. He's 34 now. I think it's a nice time for him to move. He spent so long at Real Madrid that, you know, he's probably classed as a club legend or an icon or whatever. He's won Champions League. He's won everything he can in Spain. Just, he's not winning the Ballon d'Or. So let's move him. And there are a few interesting clubs. We've obviously got Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle, and then a move to Saudi Arabia, which I think is the best one to go for. I'm kidding. I'm willing to make an offer in the transfer window anyway. Now, going at the end of contract is an easy one because he's going to be a free transfer, so we won't have to worry about their transfer budgets. Liverpool would have been the obvious one outside of the fact that they're only looking to improve their marketing revenue, but they just finished in 7th place with what I can only describe as an unbelievable team with Lamine Yamal still there, age 33. They've got a fantastic side, and it makes no sense. Now, that's one option, but I don't think it's a good one. The two I'm kind of toying between is Arsenal and Newcastle. Arsenal have Pep Guardiola. Recently, they finished in 2nd place behind Manchester City, but Newcastle finished in 4th with 69 points. I kind of like going down the Newcastle route. I mean, they have Zinedine Zidane. He would come in as a first team starter, according to this. If you have a look, they would improve the quality of the starting 11. I think we do it. I think we move him to Newcastle. Let's get the deal done at the end of his contract, which would be the 1st of July. for 0, obviously. So, yeah, moving club. Now, a season at Newcastle, there has been some slight decline in his current ability, but what, he's 35 now. However, the performances... I mean, last season he was getting 10 assists and 12 assists at Real Madrid, which seemed to be quite normal considering he didn't get that many player of the matches. But this one, 12 player of the matches from fullback. In 34 games, 12 player of the matches. That's absolutely insanity, really, when you consider it. That, what's that, 35 or 40% of the games he plays in, he will get man of the match. For a fullback, that's mental. That's only numbers you'd see on a striker. It hasn't given him anything, I don't think. Like, yeah, he's got loads of Team of the Weeks in England, and he's got Team of the Year again, the FIFA Pro Team of the Year, which was, of course, one of the challenges. And he's got that a few times, more than once. But no Ballon d'Or, but... what a performance that is. Okay, a couple more years later, we are 37 years old. We know he retired in the simulation at 39 when he was at Chelsea, and he's still going strong. The performances have dropped off slightly. He went from getting 12 player of the matches to 1 a season. But it's still impressive numbers. He's won the FA Cup since he's been at Newcastle, which is great. I mean, in terms of awards, again, it's just kind of a lot of Team of the Weeks, and he hasn't really done anything outside of that. No Ballon d'Or, for instance. The only thing I'm noticing is one time it come up wanted by Saudi Arabia, so I used the editor and I went on and I got rid of the club's money, because what I don't want to happen is for him to move to Saudi Arabia and we can't track it. So I think we just keep doing that until it's impossible to avoid. But the inevitable has happened. Andre Omega is joining a Saudi Arabian club, and I couldn't change it. As you can see, I'm even back before the end of the season. It's only the 8th of May. Hasn't finished the season yet, but because his contract is running out, he's age 39, age 38, he will be 39 next year. By the end of next year, he is joining a Saudi Arabian club. We couldn't really change it. Now, milestones, he's won another cup. He's won the Carabao Cup, but awards, he hasn't managed to do the third challenge, which was win the Ballon d'Or. We did not manage to get it. I do think it's almost impossible, and I'd love to know whether anybody has ever seen a wing-back win the Ballon d'Or. It'd be lovely and really curious to know. We can see the final winners. I mean, he wasn't even nominated, I don't think, which was a shame. But that Maximiliano Medina at Arsenal has won 4 now, and Francisco Rodriguez, I think, is on 3. So it's just these guys who are trading it between themselves at the minute. But there we go. Andre Omega, a fantastic career. Nailed off 2 challenges and even got a treble. Let's not ignore the fact that he did get a treble. But we did turn what was a nobody from Chile with the highest potential possible into a legendary fullback. And I think that's still success in some way, despite not winning the Ballon d'Or. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you want to see more controlling the destiny types of videos, because I love doing videos just like this. And make sure you do subscribe if you want to see them, because more will be coming. Thank you very much. Check out this video right here, because I spent 10 years as Manchester United manager, and I can't say I've ever had as much fun as I did in this video. It's definitely worth a watch.